Welcome to science class. Today we are going to classify physical items by liquid or solid and demonstrate knowledge by organizing items. What does classify mean? Classify means categorize items or people. For example, here we have non-living and living items. Another way to classify that is very common is by color. We have green on one side and bronze on the other. Then we have categorized by states of matter. We have solid on one side and liquid on the other. What are states of matter? We have three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. The first state of matter is solid. What is solid? Solid is an item that is hard. The molecules have been packed together. Therefore, it holds its shape and it takes up shape. And it also has mass. Our second state of matter is liquid. It fills up the shape of a container. It has mass. It takes up shape and it does not have shape. Solid and liquid are the two states of matter that we are going to be working on today. Let's go ahead and review what we did yesterday on the vocabulary term of physical properties. What is physical properties? Physical properties are the traits or attributes that can be observed. When we observe an item, we use our five senses to describe an item. As we did yesterday, we used pictures to describe items. Some of those words that you guys chose were soft, something was smooth, something was rough, something was bumpy, and also by color, such as red, orange, and green. So, I have some blocks in front of me, and I would like for you to discuss with your partner first on 5 physical properties that you see with these shapes. Okay, good job, boys and girls. So now, give me some responses on how can I classify these shapes that we have in front of us, these blocks that we have in front of us.
We can classify them by size.
Size.
Some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger. We can classify them by color. We have yellow, green, red, and blue.
Thank you. Can you go ahead and demonstrate to me how would you classify them?
I've classified them by size because these are bigger than those. But I can also classify by color. I can put all the reds here, all the yellows here, and leave the other colors aside.
Good job. So, boys and girls, thank you for that observation. We could classify it by color or blue and blue and green and green. We could also classify by size. All the smalls and all the big blocks can go together. Now Now let's move on to classify items by liquids. We have these test tubes, and inside these test tubes there are liquids. As you can see, and we have discussed earlier, liquid fills up the shape of a container. Also takes up the shape and it does not have a shape of its own. Therefore, we're using these test tubes. So we are going to classify the physical item of a liquid by categorizing them. So within your partners, go ahead and discuss 5 physical properties of these liquids. Go ahead and classify the liquids and set them in front. So one physical property would be what?
This one looks like it's very thick.
Thick. So we're going to categorize by thickness of the liquid.
Yeah. This one's water, so it's very liquidy.
Liquid.
And let's see. This one is kind of thick too.
Thick, okay.
So I would say this is the thickest.
Okay.
Then it's this one, and then that one.
So these 3 would be categorized together by the texture of the liquid. These texture of the liquid takes a while to flow within it, to go down the test tube. These 2 and these 2 could go together. Now let's categorize them by a different type of trait.
Well, those have the most liquid. Then these are medium. That one has a lot too. So those have the most liquid and these have less liquid.
Less and most. Those are great words that we are using. So we have less amount and of liquid and more amount of liquid. So those are great vocabulary terms that you have used. Less amount and more amount. Let's go ahead and categorize them by the last one, which is liquid. They're all liquid. Good job. So now, within your groups, you have a basket full of items, and these items have solid items and liquid items. And you are going to use your physical property knowledge that we have used yesterday, and then today you are learning to classify items using the physical properties and to classify them by the states of matter, such as solid and liquid. So you have, in one station, you have a green basket. In your other stations, you have different color baskets. So go ahead in station 1. Go ahead and you're going to create a poster, and you're going to classify your objects by the states of matter of liquid and solid. "15 minutes of independent work has passed." Good job, boys and girls, for classifying items by liquid and solid. Group 1 has classified items by liquid and solid. So in your journal, I would like for you to also do the same thing by creating a chart of all the items that were inside your basket by classifying them by liquids and solids. And then next to your items, you're going to write 5 physical properties of the chosen item that you would like to use. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Ten-minute journal entry has passed. Assessment. Boys and girls, what is a physical property? What physical properties did you observe in your liquids? What physical property did you observe of a solid? So raise your hand and let me know. What is a physical property?
A physical property is an attribute that can be observed, and some of the solids were soft, like the cotton.
So solid could be something soft.
But then we had a marker that is hard.
Soft could be soft, could be hard.
And then we had the card, which is a paper, which I think is a solid, and it was flexible.
Good job. What physical properties did we observe of a liquid?
This liquid took the shape of that container.
So the liquid takes up a shape of the container.
And this one took up the shape of that container.
Also, within these two liquids, what did we observe?
That they were both solids. They were both liquids.
Okay.
And
how are they different?
They have different color.
Good job. And also, they both have a different purpose of liquid. This liquid can be used for...
to put on perfume. It's perfume.
Good. And this liquid property is just plain liquid with green color in it. Also, liquid can be used for different purposes. Okay, boys and girls, we are going to go ahead and close our lesson. Before we close our lesson, I'm going to show you a picture and its words. And you are going to classify them to me by the states of matter of solid and liquid. The first word is
eraser.
Good job, eraser. An eraser is a solid or a liquid?
A solid.
Okay, good job.
Paint.
Good. A paint, is it solid or liquid?
Liquid.
Good job. A pen. Inside the pen, there is
liquid.
But the outside of the liquid, there is a
solid.
Good. So this item could go in between both. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So let's just go ahead and put it in between the solid and the liquid.
Glue.
So inside the plastic container, there is
a liquid.
And then outside is a
solid.
So we're just going to go ahead and put it in the liquid area. Our next word.
Hat. Hat is a solid.
Good job. The next one is a
Lock.
And this one, is it solid or liquid?
It's a solid.
Good. And our last word is
crayons.
Okay, I have a trick question for you. Solid. If I was to melt these crayons, would it still keep its shape?
No.
So would you say that crayons can start off as which physical property? Solid or liquid?
Solid.
It starts off as a solid.
And if it melts, it becomes a liquid.
Okay. But right now it's a
solid.
And I can also turn it into a
liquid.
And this item is a
calculator.
It is a solid or?
It's a solid.
Okay, so before we leave the classroom, I am going to hand you a Post-it note. And in this Post-it note, I would like for you to write 5 physical properties of a chosen item. For example, if I choose glue, I would like for you to write 5 physical properties of the item glue. And go ahead and write it next to, and then just post it next to that item. Okay? Good job.